If you are new to the gym, should you be cutting and bulking? The short answer is going to be it depends. Now, first thing I want to put out here, if you are below the age of 21, whether you're a male or female, I would not do anything drastic when it comes to a diet standpoint. Now, I would drastically improve the quality of your food. I would definitely eat more protein. I would eat more fruits and vegetables. I would eat healthier. Yeah, if you're eating a terrible diet, I would definitely drastically improve it from that aspect. But if you are below the age of 21, I probably would not. Now, there are some circumstances. If you were severely overweight, or if you were severely underweight, at that point, I don't think it's unreasonable to be bulking and taking a serious bulk where you're gaining 5+ pounds per month or losing 5+ pounds per month. But for most people, if you're under the age of 21 and you are not very overweight or very underweight, I would just lift, progress in the gym as much as you want, get good at sports, whatever sport you're playing. And then once you get a little bit older, then I would start worrying about cutting and bulking. Now, if you're above the age of 21, it depends. Once again, it also depends on how you're cutting and how you're bulking. Now, I'm going to tell you what a bad cut looks like and what a good cut looks like, and then for the bulk, same thing. If you are losing more than 2 pounds per week in the beginning, now, when I say beginning, I mean the first month of your cut. If you're losing more than 2 pounds per week in the beginning of your cut, and then after the first month, if you're losing more than 1 pound per week, you're getting into some dicey territory. Now, depending on how much weight you have to lose, depending on how you feel, some people can lose weight faster and feel fine. That gets into the danger zone. But if you were below those thresholds, if in the first month of your diet you lost 6 pounds, and then the second month you lost 3, and then the third month you lost 3, that's a great range. That is a great range. You're not going to lose a lot of muscle. You're not going to feel like shit. You're going to feel good. You probably shouldn't lose any muscle. You probably shouldn't lose any strength. Maybe a tad. You might lose a little bit, but that's a good situation to be in. And as I mentioned, if you start exceeding those numbers, you might be fine. It's person to person dependent. It's situational dependent. The quality of the food matters as well. If you are dialed in to your diet, eating a lot of protein, a lot of micronutrients, you're taking supplements where you're deficient, you can get away with a little bit of a steeper cut. But I wouldn't worry about it. Now into the bulking side. Kind of the same deal here. You have to be more conservative, I would say, with the bulk because it can get out of hand. A lot of people are not. It's less common to be cutting drastically to where it impacts your health, your hormones, and your muscle mass. When it comes to bulking, people can kind of get out of control with it. Now, I would say, and it depends on how long you've been lifting, because if you're a complete newbie, if you're a very skinny guy or skinny woman, and you are completely new to the gym, these numbers might sound low for you, but I would say if you have some experience, you've been lifting for at least a little while, if you're gaining more than 4 pounds per month, it's probably going to be mostly fat. And I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of people are like, what do you mean you're gaining mostly fat? If you're gaining 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds of muscle, over 50% of that is body fat. If you're gaining 3.5 pounds of muscle and you're actually progressing in the gym, you're not maintaining, but you're progressing on your lifts in the gym with good form, there's a good chance, 2/3, 3/4 of that is muscle, and that's a good. If 3/4, 75%, but if you can get around 70% muscle, 30% fat on the bulk, I think that's good math. And as I mentioned, if you were gaining more than 4 pounds, and it depends on how big you are, if you're 6'10" and you're anorexic, 4 pounds is going to be not that much. If you're a smaller woman and the frame's not as big, or if you already have more muscle on your frame to begin with, it depends. But if you're gaining, 10 pounds in a month, it's unlikely it's good. Now, some of you might say, okay, well, I'm kind of worried to cut or bulk because I don't know how it's going to go. What are my options? Can I just lift and just kind of see how it goes? Yeah, it's called maintaining or main gaining. In ideal terms, you're main gaining, and that's another option. From a scientific standpoint, it's not going to be as good as cutting and bulking in cycles, but cutting and bulking in cycles probably is not going to be ideal for your lifestyle. When you're cutting, you probably can't eat out really at all, and when you're bulking, you're probably not going to feel super great because you're always stuffing yourself. So although maintaining, whatever you want to call it, you might not be building as much muscle and improving your physique as fast as cutting and bulking, but it's probably more practical for a normal person. You know, if you're a normal person who wants to eat out once a week, maybe twice, maybe have a drink every once in a while, you can do that on a main gaining. You know, you're never getting super diced, you're never getting super fat, and you can just kind of live a consistent lifestyle. And for a lot of people, that's what they want to do. A lot of people don't want to maximize their gains. And you're like, no, I do want to maximize. You probably don't. If you want to maximize your gains, you're going to take a hit in quality of life. Maximizing your gains, maximizing your fitness, it's just not ideal. Now, improving it, yes. Once you get to a certain threshold of cardiovascular health and just muscle size, that's very good for your health. But once you take it from having a good to great physique to a great to excellent, that's where the ROI on just lifestyle